Okay. So, and that is the website there and my phone number to reach me directly if you need to. And okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, would you say that you have no unwanted symptoms regarding hormonal balance, or you feel that your hormones are dramatically out of control and very, very imbalanced? So, where do you think, if you want to share that number or you just want to write it down somewhere, but do think about that. So, um, here are some areas of hormone balance. Okay, hyperthyroid or hypothyroid, so over or underactive thyroid, adrenal fatigue, difficulty losing weight, mood swings, trouble sleeping, infertility, poor memory, type 2 diabetes. All these are signs of hormonal imbalance. So what do we need to do in order to balance our hormones naturally? Now, whenever someone reaches for pharmaceuticals, we're looking for something to help with the symptoms of a problem. But typically speaking, pharmaceuticals don't always address the actual root cause. So it's always going to be better if we can deal with things naturally and address the root cause, as opposed to looking to medication to force an action upon the body. That's not to say that there's never a place for modern medicine. And there are times where people do need to rely on it during a season or during a difficulty. But in general, our health will be maintained by things that have been here since the beginning of people being here. So those plants and those nutrients are what our body needs. So how do we help our body to be imbalanced naturally? Well, we look to managing stress, which can include using prayer and meditation, diet and supplementation are a big part of this. So having a proper diet and appropriate supplementation. So are both necessary? Can we just eat whatever we want as long as we're taking our vitamins? No, we actually do need to have a proper diet. When we have an improper diet, several things are happening. One, when somebody is having a deficient diet, nutritionally deficient diet, or a poor diet, they're typically eating a lot of toxic foods. And so the toxins in and of themselves are a problem, and then the deficiency is also a problem. And then supplementation. Well, supplementation matters a lot because our food supply today is such that it is lacking. The amount of nutrients in an apple or an orange today does not begin to compare to what one was 100 years ago. So we do need to actually use supplementation along with proper diet. Exercise. Exercise is vital. And so many times I'll see people, they'll say, I've got it covered. I am working on cognitive health as I get older. I do the Sudoku puzzles. Well, Sudoku puzzles and crossword puzzles are not going to save you if you are not exercising and getting out there and having movement and exercising, so that we increase our heart rate, and we should be walking as though we're late for school. We need to get our blood pumping. This is going to make a huge difference. Circulation makes a huge difference when it not only comes to our cardiovascular health, but also when it comes to our eyesight. All parts of our body are going to benefit from exercise, okay? And that oxygenation. So use of essential oils. By that, I mean medicinal quality essential oils that have been tested appropriately and have the constituents necessary to have a medicinal effect on the body. Next, proper sleep. Sleep is hugely important, and I mention this a lot. And sleeping between 9 and 2 and 10 and 3 is when our body gets the not only the best time to repair, but this is a time where our body most effectively offloads the toxins that it has come in contact with and absorbs during the course of the day. So we do need that time during those early hours to basically put out the trash, right? To get rid of those toxins and for us to repair and rejuvenate. Proper sleep. Actually, something I'd like to discuss in the future is fasting. And that is a big buzzword. And there are many, many ways to fast. And it doesn't necessarily mean no eating for 24 hours, no eating for 48 hours, or anything like that. There's many different ways of fasting and different ways for different people. Also, different ways at different times. So somebody might fast in one fashion at one time, and then the next month they might find that fasting another way would be something that would be more beneficial at that time. So there's many options when it comes to that. So proper sleep, of course, and I did start to talk about that, and proper hydration, absolutely. So it's not a matter of just drinking enough liquid. We want to drink water so as to flush out the body. We also need to hydrate us on a cellular level. So that means getting our minerals in there through our mineral salt, through our vegetables, through the recharge that doTERRA has, where we can recharge our electrolytes, put our electrolytes back in our body so that our body will be able to use hydration on a cellular level. So these things are all key components. So hormones affect our bodies in so many ways, so many different ways. They affect our appetite, our blood sugar, our body temperature, our growth and development, heart rate, mood, metabolism, sexual function and reproduction, and sleep. So hormones are secreted by the glands of the endocrine system and travel through the bloodstream to various organs and tissues. The hormones then tell these organs and tissues what to do and how to function. So all these different body systems always are working together. It's not a matter of isolating them. Modern science, a lot of times, they have a doctor for the heart and a doctor for the knee and a doctor for the brain, and our body works all together. So it's really important to work on it together as one system. So the endocrine system is made up of a complex network of glands, which are where the organs secrete substances. The glands of the endocrine system are where hormones are produced, stored, and released. Each gland produces one or more hormones, which go on to target specific organs and tissues in the body. So we have the hypothalamus, we have the pituitary, we have the pineal, and we have the thyroid. All these different glands are vital to our hormonal health. So symptoms. Now I go on about symptoms because it just making that connection, because a lot of times people think they don't have a hormonal problem, so they're not looking at it through the right lens to find the right solution. Okay, and realizing what the problem is can be half the battle into finding the solution. So hormonal dysfunction, irregular periods, water retention, breast swelling and tenderness, mood swings, depression, weight gain, cold hands and feet, headaches, osteoporosis, decreased sex drive. And so what should we do about it? Reduce stress, reduce toxins, and cleanse and restore. So some more imbalances in women that we want to touch on, and then we're going to touch on some in men. So in women, we see irregular cycles. Now that can mean many different things. It could be too frequent. It can be not often enough. It can be completely missed. They can be because their cycle is very heavy or painful, or it could be spotting in between. All these are a sign of hormonal imbalance. Next, we have mood swings, which could be anxiety, irritability, depression, weight gain, or in some people, it could even mean weight loss. Acne is another sign that can be caused by hormonal imbalance. Hair loss or thinning, vaginal dryness, infertility, sleeplessness, headaches, joint issues, breast tenderness, increased thirst, frequent urination, thinning of the skin, and slow metabolism. So a lot of times people won't think of some of these things being connected to hormonal health. Now in men, it's quite similar, okay? They will also have fatigue, mood imbalance, sexual dysfunction, brain fog, breast development, hair loss. So the hair moving back and back and back, that hairline that keeps receding, hormonal imbalance, constipation, difficulty focusing, dry skin, joint stiffness, infertility, muscle aches, and reduced muscle tone. So a lot of people, a lot of men wouldn't even think of half of these things as being related to hormonal balance. In fact, a lot of men think of hormones are a women's problem, and they don't even recognize the fact that everybody has hormones. Of every age, everybody has hormones, and men certainly have hormones too. So menopause symptoms. So there are different ways that menopause can be brought on. So there can be natural menopause, and in a healthy woman, a natural menopause is not much of a disruption. There might be a few periods that are heavier or longer than usual, and then it balances out and figures itself out. Now I'm talking about in a perfect situation, okay? And their system regulates, slowly decreases menstruation, and then they are done that part of menopause, and then they continue on in menopause for a number of years, okay, continuing that change. But a premature menopause, which is one that is brought on by toxicity, can be caused by hormones in dairy, genetically modified soy, plastics that are getting into our food supply, plastics that are getting into our system through our clothes or through our sweat glands, personal care products that are laden with toxic materials, Teflon getting into our food, synthetics that we're wearing, the clothing themselves, not just what they're washed with, and then artificial menopause, which has been brought on by a surgery. And this can cause bone loss, thinning of the skin, sexual dysfunction, heart issues, and issues with emotional health. So menopause, whether it comes on naturally or induced by toxins or induced by surgery, is going to affect a woman in a different way. And I would say the majority of women in this country are experiencing an irregular or premature menopause brought on by toxicity in the world around them. So we go back to, what are the two reasons for disease? Toxicity and deficiency. So important that we keep those two things in mind. If we have toxicity and deficiency, we're going to have disease in some form or another. So now here's a list for you to take a look at, and this is a little more extensive. Have you experienced any of these? Headaches, attention disruption, restlessness, hyperactivity, depression, fatigue, flushing, like you just feel like all hot all of a sudden, sweating, like just, it's not that hot of a day, you're just all of a sudden, you just start sweating. Facial pressure or tightness, numbness, tingling or burning in the face or neck areas, rapid fluttering heartbeat like palpitations, chest pain, nausea, weakness, digestive upset, dizziness, difficulty focusing, shortness of breath, swelling, chronic postnasal drip, rashes, and dry mouth. These are all related, they can all be related to hormonal dysfunction. Now, sometimes there can be times where they're not too, but many times they are. So we don't want to write it. So monosodium glutamate can cause many many things that I just mentioned there. And this is something to keep in mind. Okay, so MSG increases the number of platelets, bleeding time, clotting time, adversely affects some hormones, testosterone, estrogen, progesterone. It also leads to increase in body weight and thus obesity. According to the National Institute of Health, there's a correlation between noradrenal dysfunction due to MSG can be linked to the development of Alzheimer's. So we need to be aware of what is in our food. We need to read every label and be aware that MSG can ride under a plethora of different names and is not always called MSG. And it can say no MSG on the outside of the package and have one of MSG's cousins right in there, even listed 2 or 3 times. So be aware of what you're eating. Eat single ingredient food items or items that you can recognize and say and verify what each of those items are. So our body will not function correctly if it's nutritionally starved. When our body doesn't have the nutrients it needs to function properly, it struggles in every area, including hormonal balance. This is true for teens and a lot of times in teens, because what they're eating at school in that school lunchroom is usually a disaster. They come home and then they go straight for the closet and they grab junk food to fill up on when dinner is actually served. If it's a healthy dinner, they're usually not all that hungry because they already ate a whole bunch of stuff after school. And therefore, this cycle of being deficient becomes the norm. This is also true for adults in all phases of life, men as well as women. Everyone has hormones. So a whole food diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains are, you really want to go for the vegetables first, okay? Fruits also have a wonderful benefit. Nuts and seeds are wonderful. Legumes, high quality protein, meaning like grass-fed meat or organic chicken is very, very good. Phytoestrogens and healthy fats, such as omega-3 fatty acids, are also needed. So proper supplementation is necessary due to industrial farming practices, such as over farming. The soils are very, very depleted, which means the food is depleted. And then, of course, the addition of herbicides, pesticides, and fungicides. So we have 2 options to look for our basic supplementation. These have been tested, they are pure, and they are not containing the synthetics that we're trying to be away from. Because if you're going to go and get vitamins that have synthetics in them while you're trying to take synthetics out of your food supply, you're going to end up with the same problem. So for years, we've had our Lifelong Vitality Pack, which has the multivitamin, okay, the VM. It has the EO for the EO omegas. And then it has the CRS, which is a rebuilding component. And then another option that they just came out with in September is the VMG, which is actually vegetables together. It's a food nutrient. Well, both are food nutrients, but this is in a little powder packet. You see the dark green on this screen there. So that is a powder packet with greens and other nutrients that you just put in water and you mix it up or you give it a shake, and then you can take your omegas that are right there. And I think it's really delicious. A couple times in the past few days, I've been adding my collagen to it and drinking it down at one time so I don't forget one or the other. So that's been working out really, really well. I have to say my favorite way is when I like put some ice cubes in it. I really like it super cold. Putting a drop of the MetaPower in there is very, very delicious. Did somebody have a question on that? Okay, the Women's Health Kit is the phytoestrogen, the bone nutrient, and the Claricalm. So the bone nutrient is absolutely an amazing combination of vitamins and minerals for developing and maintaining healthy bone mass and density. It has calcium, magnesium to support healthy bones and overall health. Throughout a woman's lifetime, you can even start the 12-year-olds on this, okay, especially if they're having some trouble sleeping. That would be a good addition because of the magnesium in there. It does help them to sleep better. So, and it is a proprietary blend that supports bone health, and it has vitamin D2 and D3 to help the bones absorb the calcium. So the phytoestrogen provides supplemental dietary phytoestrogens to help balance and support hormonal health. It is for managing estrogen and metabolism. It can be used to complement your program of eating right and exercise and hormone therapy. So this supports bone health, heart health, breast tissue health, and other body structures. So it includes a soy extract. Okay, so what you want to stay away from is genetically modified soy, but non-GMO soy is very very healthy for the body in that it in some cultures soy has been used for thousands of years, and it has really helped the women to be very, very healthy, and it has helped them to prevent disease. So this also contains flaxseed and is containing pomegranate extract, which is an antioxidant support. And then we have our clary calm, which has clary sage, lavender, bergamot, chamomile, ylang ylang, cedarwood, geranium, fennel, carrot seed, palmarosa, and vitex. You apply this to the abdomen or to the insides of the ankles. And you can also use it during a calming massage. You can put it on the back of your neck or your temples, the bottom of your feet, and you can put it on your lower abdomen and then put a heating pad on top if you're having some discomfort during a cycle. So Clary Calm's uses. It is wonderful during labor and delivery as well as menstruation. And it helps with mood swings, menstrual cramps, endometriosis, hormonal imbalance, hot flashes, menopausal symptoms in general, PCOS, PMS, breast tenderness, hair loss, wrinkles, blood pressure, because it's very calming. It helps also with the circulation, helps with acne, because if acne is caused by our hormones being out of balance, then it will help with this also. It is beneficial during a headache. It helps with frigidity, fertility issues, and impotence. So some of the benefits of clary sage in general are it's antibacterial, it helps with sadness, it's antifungal, it helps with inflammation, it is antiseptic, antispasmodic, and hormone balancing. Now, ylang ylang, which is another heavy hitter in this combination, helps with ADD and ADHD, as well as autism, anxiety. It is an aphrodisiac, and it is wonderful for post-delivery. It's wonderful for sadness, heart health, hormone balance, mental clarity, metabolism, PMS, pain, vertigo, inflammation, and cognitive decline, excuse me. Clary calm ingredients are bergamot, which is very calming and stress relieving, antispasmodic. Cedarwood is calming and very grounding and balancing. Chamomile is great for mood elevation and helps with stress. Fennel helps with lactation and with regular bowel elimination and also with gas. Lavender is for calming and for hormone balance. And if you have a basic kit, you'll notice that we have something in there for every body system, okay? And lavender helps with hormone balancing, and lavender is in the basic kit. Palmarosa helps with stress and irritability, and vitex helps with hormonal balance and PMS. So another oil that is very beneficial for hormonal balance is rose. Rose can come in the 5 ml bottle or in the Rose Touch bottle, which means it's in a roller bottle. And so it's very easy to use, very easy to apply, and it smells absolutely amazing. You can apply it over the heart for emotional balance. It boosts libido and promotes openness and confidence. You can apply it to the lower abdomen to release menstrual discomfort and promote regular ovulation. So soy, I mentioned, actually this is out of sync again. So soy is in the phytoestrogen supplement. And so soy-rich diets can improve heart health, lower blood pressure, and help with levels. So they also can help improve fertility and reduce symptoms of menopause, as well as protect against certain cancers. So soy is high in fiber, high in protein, low in saturated fat. It is cholesterol free, lactose free. It's a good source of omega-3 fatty acids and a source of antioxidants, and it's high in phytoestrogens. So GMO soy is very disruptive to our health, and has much lower nutritional components, but it also is very disruptive to the health. Instead of not just helping your health, it creates challenges for the health. And it can cause bloating, stomach ulcers, diarrhea, fertility issues, and have a negative effect on lifespan. So GMO soy is the most commonly grown commodity crop in North America. American farmers planted more than 100 million acres of soy, more acreage than any other single crop. That's a lot, but not necessarily a lot of food. In fact, most soy isn't used in human food at all. According to the USDA, just over 70% of soy grown in the US becomes animal feed, and another 5% becomes biodiesel. So roughly a quarter of the soybeans end up in food for human consumption, primarily as highly processed ingredients such as oils or ground meals and starches with little nutritional value. The agricultural corporations that make and patent GMO soy have grown tremendously rich and powerful by prioritizing profit over all else. GMOs create wealth for shareholders way more than they offer a meaningful benefit to consumers. So when you go to pick up your meat at a store, realize that if that meat is not organic, then it was most likely fed a diet of soy. Well, those cows are not meant to eat that, and it throws off their system. And if they are burdened by a lot of soy, then your body is going to be burdened by the imbalance of nutrients in that food product. So they are very counterproductive. If you're going to eat beef, then you should be eating grass-fed organic beef, okay? So how can we reduce stress? So we have several options with this, and this is something to be considered. So if we have hormonal imbalance, then we may have trouble dealing with stress. But if we have trouble dealing with stress, then that can have a negative effect on our hormones. So it's kind of can be a loop. So we really need to do everything we can to have us have as little stress as possible. A lot has to do with how we think and how we process things. Sorry, I was going to sneeze. So Some tools that we can use to reduce stress are adaptive, and I'll talk more about that in a moment. There's balance. Balance is an oil that is often used topically and helps to balance the emotions, but we can also diffuse that. Copaiba is wonderful for stress. Lemon and tangerine and other citrus oils, as well as ylang ylang, chamomile, frankincense, lavender, and other fir oils are all good at helping to reduce stress. So some mildly detoxifying options would be to put lemon or other citrus oils in your water several times a day. Next, we have Digestin applied over the liver is a good support. Geranium essential oil over the liver and adrenals is very beneficial. Magnolia over the adrenals is very beneficial. Rosemary can also be applied over the liver. Geranium over the liver, adrenal glands and kidneys also will encourage progesterone, which is a hormone involved in menstruation, pregnancy, mood, sleep, and cognitive function. Rosemary also benefits the liver when applied topically. And rosemary, I love for the fact that it really helps memory. And that is a wonderful one to diffuse when you're working on things at your desk. So the adaptive system, sorry, I have a little heater on here. It's getting too toasty. The adaptive system is absolutely wonderful. I love the roller bottle because it's really easy to just take with, apply it to your wrist, your back, or your neck when you're stressing. The capsules are wonderful. 1 per day is what I have found works best for me. And then the adaptive oil in the 15 ml roller is great to diffuse into the air, but also to replenish your roller bottle there. So this works absolutely amazingly. And I love the adaptive set. So okay, so when you're stressed, hormones are released more frequently and remain in the bloodstream for sustained periods. You may experience hormonal imbalance when you're stressed. So without proper management of these fight or flight responses, it can have a very negative effect on your hormones. So to reduce stress, you can utilize prayer, proper diet, productive sleep, regular exercise. Regular exercise is absolutely wonderful because we were designed to be physical people. And now we have this issue where if somebody has a lot of stress, they're like, oh my goodness, I am so stressed. They have to run over to their desk, sit down, put their feet on the floor and start typing. Well, that doesn't release a lot of energy. So for thousands of years, when somebody had stress, it was because they had to run, the lion was coming, or run, there was a problem, right? Now we have to go sit down and we don't get to release that energy. So another point to be aware of is to reduce the toxicity, not just in food additives, but also in the products that are throughout your home, such as cleaning your bathroom, your kitchen, the rest of your house. All those products have a negative effect on our hormonal health. So now, if you have ever dealt with, if you've been dealing with hormonal headaches, try grapefruit and thyme on the roof of your mouth. So put 1 drop of each on your hand and then put your thumb in that combination of grapefruit and thyme, and then hold that to the roof of your mouth on your thumb. And that will help to release that headache. So you can place lavender and frankincense on your temples, okay? Frankincense is very analgesic, but lavender is very beneficial for hormone balancing. So now your thyroid. Now this is a wonderful combination for your thyroid. So frankincense, lemongrass, myrrh, and clove. So 10 drops each, top off with your fractionated coconut oil, and apply that lightly to your thyroid 3 times a day. Now this book, if you need to dive into hormone health, this book called The Hormone Solution, or excuse me, yes, The Essential Oils Hormone Solution by Maritza Snyder is a wonderful, wonderful book. Okay, so go ahead and check that out on, I may have it on my website. If not, it's on Amazon. Um, that book goes over many different aspects of balancing your hormones. It was a doctor who was very, very involved in the medical model and was not really pursuing anything naturally. And she discovered that natural intervention would solve her hormonal issue. And so she switched over and she found dramatic results, not just for herself, but for her patients. And she has continued along that ever since. So, does our body cleanse itself naturally? Well, yes, our bodies were designed to cleanse themselves on a regular basis. Many religions talk about, um, speak of, and many of them do a specific cleanse, not just regular cleanse. So when we talk about cleansing on a daily basis, we can talk about putting lemon in our water, and that helps to detoxify us. But we can do a specific cleanse. So sometimes people will just do a very light cleanse and they'll just eat a very basic diet of vegetables with a little bit of fruits for maybe a couple days or something until they have cleansed their body. But there's a specific cleanse that we have, and that is our doTERRA cleanse. This does not have the VMG in this picture, but it now would have the VMG in it. So today, in our world today, we have so many toxins in our laundry soap, in our bathroom cleaners, in our dish soap, for Pete's sake, right? In the food we eat, the water we drink, the air we breathe. So do we need to do a cleanse? People say, oh, you know, we really don't need to do a cleanse. They didn't do one for thousands of years. What difference does it make? Well, these toxins that we are dealing with today didn't exist thousands of years ago, and yet it is often spoken of in ancient writings that people did a cleanse. So more than ever today, we should do a cleanse once or twice a year and rid our body of these toxins that we're in contact with on a daily basis. And we'll be doing one soon. I'm not quite sure how soon we're going to do one, but we will be doing one within the next couple months. And it's kind of fun to do it all together as a group because we can report our challenges and our changes and have a support system while doing the cleanse. So we can let you know that when you'd like to, if you'd like to join us with doing that.